Another one of my music discussion kinda sorta rant thingies that people usually tune out and not watch unless I'm talking about a band I think sucks. With this band, all of you might either say, this is probably gonna be most of you, I never heard of this fucking band. Who the hell is Greta Van Fleet? What the fuck are you talking about? Or you're probably going to say, oh, I know this band and I fucking hate them. They are awful. They are the spawn of Satan. Or, well, this might kind of shock me. Some of you might say, well, I actually really enjoy this band and I'm glad you enjoy this band too. But, I don't know how many of you are going to say the last one. But, maybe there's some of you out there who like this band. I don't know, but I'm probably going to be talking about a band, something that none of you give a fuck about. But whatever, it's my own channel. I can talk about whatever the fuck I care about. Anyway, when I first encountered Greta Van Fleet, it was on my local alternative station in the car, and I remember hearing their song. I believe it was Safari Song. I heard this song and I was like, I never heard this Led Zeppelin song before. Maybe they're releasing some previously unreleased Led Zeppelin material finally, and this song was one of them. And I thought this song is fucking great. And I remember Shazamming this song, and then it showed up the Safari Song by Greta Van Fleet, and I was like, who the hell is Greta Van Fleet? I thought this was Zeppelin, honestly, and I wanted to make sure it was Zeppelin. And I thought it was a song that I never heard before. Maybe it was a B-side or something, or a song that was just unreleased, and they're finally releasing an influx of previously unreleased material that they've been withholding from the public for the longest time. But I found out it was by this band called Greta Van Fleet, and then I was like, oh, well, maybe this band is just featuring Robert Plant on vocals. And then I remember looking up this band, and it turns out that, yeah, they legit sound exactly like Led Zeppelin. I didn't really think of it much, and I kind of just forgot about this band's existence for a while. I mean, I've seen their name pop up on a few things, mostly people raging about how much they sound like Zeppelin, or I've seen their vinyls sold at my local Target. I've seen them there. But I never really cared for actually hearing this band. I even heard a YouTuber I really enjoy in his live streams, Undertaker Freak 1127, talk about how much he just despises this band for being such a complete Zeppelin knockoff. He hates the band, he hates the people who like this band. He just flat out despised this band. And then that kind of just turned me off from listening to them. After hearing all the hate this band received, I just kind of wrote them off as just some Zeppelin knockoff band. Until a few days ago, actually, I decided to finally give their stuff a try. Their EP From the Fires and their first full-length album, Anthem of the Peaceful Army. I believe that's what it's called. And I remember thinking when I heard these, what's really so bad about these two records? I mean, I saw the abysmal reviews the debut album especially got. Holy fuck. Pitchfork gave it a 1. I saw Anthony Fantano's review. He really hated the album. I never really took that guy seriously anyway. And I saw a bunch of other people just rant and rave about this band, even prior to listening to their records in full. Like I said, just rant and rave about this band, mainly because they're complete Zeppelin knockoff. But I actually really like this band. Their music just clicked with me right away. I really, really enjoyed these two records. And you know what? Yeah, they are a Zeppelin knockoff. I mean, come on. Listen to one song, any song by them, and you can hear the Zeppelin influence like fucking crazy. There's just absolutely no denying it. But just because they're heavily influenced, and okay, yes, they do knock off a classic rock band, a great classic rock band, might I add, does that really necessarily make them so bad? I mean, sure, this band may be severely lacking in the originality department, but honestly, that's never really bothered me because I like Zeppelin. They're probably my second favorite band of all time. Take a wild guess what my favorite band of all time is. All of you should really know that. But anyways, I really love Led Zeppelin a lot. And I like that this band sounds like Led Zeppelin. So, you know what? If I could look past that, if I could look past how this band really tries to imitate Led Zeppelin so fucking much, you know what, I can enjoy it. I can really dig this band's music, and I do. I don't give a fuck how unoriginal you think this band is. I don't give a fuck how much you hate that this band imitates the fuck out of Led Zeppelin. It is enjoyable to me, so fuck off. I mean, Jesus, I've seen so many of these Zeppelin fantards just attack the fuck out of people who just simply enjoy Greta Van Fleet's music because, oh no, they sound too much like Led Zeppelin. Oh no, the singer sounds way too much like Robert Plant. Get the fuck over it, alright? I'm also happy that, you know, a band that has this classic rock sound, you know, rock from the 70s, that has that sound, is really big right now, and is you know, introducing a whole new generation to this kind of music. I mean, alright, sure, they're not the biggest band out there. I mean, they're no Imagine Dragons or any of the other fucking bands out there, but at least they don't sound like that. At least they're not the bland and boring schlock like Imagine Dragons is, and they're like the biggest fucking band out there currently, if you could really call them a band. Maybe some young buck hears this band and then wants to hear other bands that sound like this band, and then they go and discover all these great classic rock bands and artists for the first time and really, really dig their music, and maybe, just maybe, music like this could be popular again. I mean, that's kind of a stretch, but who knows, maybe, because this band is currently really, really popular right now, especially with young people, introducing them to this style of music, and I really, really appreciate that. I'm so happy that there is some kind of, at least a little bit of a resurgence in this kind of sound. I'd rather listen to Greta Van Fleet over the fucking vapid, boring pop or the stupid as fuck hip-hop that is so popular now and is plaguing the charts. And I don't want to sound like any of these born to the wrong generation fucks, but holy fuck, the popular music today just 99% of it is just fucking awful, and I'd rather just not listen to it at all and just completely ignore its existence. And you know what? If a band like Greta Van Fleet comes out, I don't care how much it imitates Led Zeppelin. You know, I'll listen to it if they make actual enjoyable music. And to me, Greta Van Fleet is really, really enjoyable. So just lower your pitchforks and leave the people who like this band the fuck alone. I'm also more than sure that this band is probably going to eventually blossom into its own, have its own sound. Maybe they'll drop the knockoff Zeppelin sound after this album, who knows? Or maybe they'll just keep the Zeppelin thing going, who knows, but I'm more than sure eventually this band is going to realize, yeah, we should really change things up a little, because obviously us imitating Zeppelin isn't going to work forever. So yeah, let's try our own stuff. And do you want to know who else started off as a Led Zeppelin knockoff band? Rush. Listen to their self-titled debut album and try and tell me they weren't trying to imitate Led Zeppelin. I mean, I didn't like that era of Rush all that much. I, of course, much prefer what they did later on, but Rush also evolved into its own band. It wasn't just a clone band of Zeppelin after their first album. They started producing songs that had their own unique sound and wasn't trying to imitate another band. So who says this band can't do it? So at least give the band a few more albums, and if they don't, you know, stop with the Zeppelin clone music, then yeah, you can write them off as a shitty Led Zeppelin knockoff band. But maybe this band will eventually make music that is unique and not trying to imitate another band. So it's just unfair to write this band off as shitty and a complete clone band this early into their career. They are in their early 20s. Some of them are 21, 20. I think one of them is fucking 19 years old. It's still so early in their career and their lives. It's so fucking stupid to just write them off as a band that will forever imitate Zeppelin this early into their career. So yeah, Greta Van Fleet may not be the most amazing band ever, nor the most original, but I'm still a fan, and I do look forward to what they have in store for the future. I'm sure there will be more enjoyable songs by them in the future that I'll personally really enjoy, and not give a fuck what anyone else thinks about it, or what they think about the band, because why the fuck should I? Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.